Store portion dedicated for dailygiving.org, a great organization that gives tzedakah on your behalf, charity for you. Every day, they give out $1 on your behalf. And $1 may not matter much, but when you aggregate it with thousands of people from around the world, it actually makes a huge difference. They're giving out tens of thousands of dollars a day to different organizations. Check them out, dailygiving.org, dailygiving.org, and be part of it. It's together we can change the world. So this week's Torah portion really is the beginning. And in the beginning, there are the seeds, the wisdom for everything. What looks like something that took place in Abraham's life really is taking place in our life every single day. The first time God communicates to Abraham in an explicit way, he asks him to do something that was incredibly difficult. Remember, Abraham, before he leaves his hometown, is 75 years old, fully established. He is preaching the word of God. He has students. He is known as a healer, a sage. He has people from all over the world coming to him. He had walked through a fire pit for God's honor and survived. He is famous. He's a celebrity. Life is perfect. And he's in the center of Mesopotamia, which is the center of civilization. Things are great. And God says, I want you to leave. Torah portion opens up. Lech lecha, go for yourself. It's a lot to ask somebody. Ask somebody to move. It's hard. Leave countries. It's hard. Go away to school. It's hard. Leave everything. And then God says something that's so subtle that most people miss it, but it's so critical. God doesn't even tell him where he's going. We know the story because we know the end of the story. Abraham didn't know it. God tells Abraham, go to the land that I will show you. Just give him the destination. You don't just get on an airplane to fly somewhere. Usually there's a destination. If you tell him, I'm going to put you in Israel, it's going to be wonderful. It'll be hard. There's a lot of, sand now, but don't worry. In a couple of years, there'll be skyscrapers and it'll be amazing. There'll be a mall in Mamil. It'll be great. Okay, I got it. God tells Abraham, just leave everything and go to a place that you don't even know exists yet. I'm not even telling you where you're going. Why? Because this is the seed of true growth. If you look at people's lives and you wonder why we don't grow more, why don't we accomplish more? The answer usually is, I don't know what's going to be. I know where I am. It's familiar to me. I don't know what happens if I start that company. I don't know what happens if I continue that relationship. I don't know what happens if I take on this new thing in my life. I know I have to go, but I don't know where I'm going to. The real reason why most people stay unaccomplished is because it's good. Life's good. And good is enough. Jim Collins once said, good is the enemy of great. I feel comfortable here. Maybe I should be with different friends, but I know my way around. Maybe I should live in a different area. I know. Maybe I should take on more in my own spirituality. I know, but where am I going to go? Where am I going to sit? What's it going to look like? What are they going to say? Maybe I should do the thing that I've been trying to do my whole life and just go for it. I know, but what's going to happen? What am I going to pay my bills? The reason why we don't take on and do more and grow is because between where I am and where I need to be is a whole lot of ambiguity. My rabbi once said, between the rung of one of the ladder to the next rung is the abyss. When you're climbing a ladder, you know that you could fall through everything because there's no growth without chance. There is no greatness without vulnerability. There's no reward without risk. Everything we do in our lives, we have to do it smart and build the right bridge and think it through. But everything we do in our lives that is meaningful required some, even small, leap of faith. And it is that leap that is so hard for us to take. So we justify, well, I can't, it shouldn't, it's not really for me. Maybe next week, I'll do it next month. Every one of us has the land we need to go to. Every one of us things are okay or good or not, but we're surviving. But good is the enemy of great because life isn't about surviving. Life is about greatness. And if you really think about it, there's a land we need to go to. We don't know what it looks like. We don't know what it's going to be like. We don't know what's going to happen when we get there. There's a part of me that I have to develop into. I don't know what happens when I do that, but I sort of know I got to go. And the greatness of Abraham and the greatness of great people ever since Abraham and the greatness that is within us is to do things that we should do, not necessarily things that we know we can do. To take on responsibilities, to make moves, to challenge ourselves in areas that we're not sure we'll succeed at. Because I'd rather take the risk and fail than be comfortable and never know. There's a great nurse named Bonnie Ware. She says that she was an end-of-life nurse, and she said that one of the greatest regrets that she's seen in people that are at the end of their lives is at the end of their lives, they realize who they could have been had they just taken the chance. Abraham, the first thing God tells him is the same thing he's telling us every day of our lives. Be big. Take the chance on yourself. Strive for greatness, even if it's unknown, rather than comfort that feels familiar. Because every one of us has a land to where we need to go. And every one of us has that Abraham gene inside us, that if we push ourselves for more, we can be people that we may not even recognize, but that we were always destined to be.